Celtics Talk Podcast is presented by 24autogroup.com. New England gets more at 24.
What's up, everybody? Celtics Talk Podcast coming to you after the Celtics fall in New York, 105-95 to the Knicks. Celtics are 0-2 for the first time since the 21-22 season. Kayla, I'll spin that because that was the year they went to the NBA Finals. So sometimes things start a little rocky, but they end well, which about sums up tonight. The Celtics, I guess they started kind of okay and had an 8-point lead, and then all of a sudden the second quarter happened, and we'd like to forget about it. Celtics outscored 42-14 after giving up a 42-point quarter against the Sixers the other night, another 42-point quarter. We are not here to focus too much on the negative. We will try to focus on the positive. But I need your headline for tonight.
Headline, after 2 games and currently, Celtics and Joe Mazzulla in search of team identity, of new team identity.
I think the SEO people would like that because it's like it's got enough intrigue that like I'm clicking just to see.
And it's
like,
not just Celtics. It's Celtics and Joe Mazzulla.
So lead me through it. Like,
why do you feel that way? So we did see tonight 3 new players that did not play in game 1, including Hugo, who was a spark, who was the Tommy Award player of the game. And I just think Joe is trying to work out new combinations. He's trying to find who pairs who with who in this kind of situation. And I think as a coach, like he's so used to Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, Derek. Yeah. All right, we're going to have Sam come off the bench, Peyton come off the bench. Like he knows, he's familiar with that. And he knew going into the season it's going to look entirely different. But it's still finding out, what does Anthony Simons like to do? Where do I plug and play Hugo? Chris Boucher. Like when do we go double big? And I just feel like they're all trying to play. I use the term Tetris a lot, but I feel like this is a Tetris game. They're trying to figure out the different combinations.
I love Tetris, by the way.
It's such an underrated game.
No one's touching my high score.
Really? You're Pac-Man though, right? You got both?
I love everything. Brad Stevens is the Pac-Man guy.
True.
I'm Burger Time.
Okay.
But I can hold my own Tetris. I love that you put it this way because tonight one of the kind of oddities that we saw was they start with what I would call the core starters. Yeah. And with Sam and Nimi. Alongside Derek and Peyton and Jaylen, and then almost like a full line change. So 5 guys come in. We didn't see much of Baylor and Jordan Walsh. They were quickly gone after that. But they actually, if nothing more than held the lead, they might have even extended it and put the Celtics in good position going into the second quarter. And then things kind of fell apart. And it was jarring because the starters were largely on the floor. Jaylen had folded back into the game. And to your point, it feels like it's a little bit different this year. Like, are you running Jaylen the first 10 and then bringing him back? Are you playing him the first 6?
Right.
They're kind of still trying to figure that out. And for whatever reason tonight, it did not work out. Their energy in that second quarter was terrible. And I don't know necessarily if it was just the lineup or the fact that through 2 games, they have not played to a high enough standard for a long enough period of time.
What's your headline?
We're not getting there yet.
Oh, look at me trying to run
We're going to stay on New York.
I will comment on the second quarter, though, because... Yes. Obviously, that was disappointing. What was it? It was 42 to 14. Yeah, I mean that's just. But and
I don't want to say it's unacceptable. Bad quarters happen,
right?
But when you've already given up a 42-point quarter, like literally 48
bad
hours,
bad quarters happen. But 42 to 14 is
that's tough.
I just feel like the trend between game. Look, it's early, so I'm not gonna. I'm overreacting.
We're not slamming panic buttons.
Yeah, I'm allowed to overreact a little. But I just feel like the common pattern here between game 1 and game 2 is that they do put their foot off the gas at some point. And most teams do, right? That's going to happen. But how much do you put your foot off the gas? Like in game 1 against the 76ers, you're up 13 in the fourth quarter. And then you just felt like they just lost their pace. They lost their energy. They started to die out. And now in the second quarter, Chris, it is jarring because it's the second quarter. It's not like third or fourth where, okay, halftime we're up by 8 or like they did in the first quarter. But that second quarter, man, it was just, we all looked at each other in the newsroom like are we good? Time out. Time out.
Can I blame Amazon Prime for this or something?
I may have to. It's a new thing. It's a new thing.
So you mentioned it, that the Celtics have not played to an acceptable level. Here's Joe Mazzulla talking about the high standard he's holding his team to.
What's that balance like for you? Like, you want to hold these guys to a high standard. Like, we were talking about, there's a lot of new guys, there's younger guys. Like, what is that balance like for you of like holding them to that high standard, but understanding that, you know, Hugo's a rookie, like you have a lot of new guys here.
I mean, I still think you can hold guys to a higher standard. I mean, again, there's a result here. Like, at the end of the day, you know, there's an expectation to win, but it's to win by the process of doing what we need to do. So the standard comes from holding them accountable to the process. Tonight, you know, we had a miscommunication on a play that we walked through. We had a miscommunication on a read offensively. We can control those things regardless of if you're a rookie or a 12-year vet. Like, those are the things. So I think it's holding accountable to the things that we can control, and that's a high standard. And you know, to me, you can't budge on that. And like I said, you know, they're going to make mistakes, and that's okay. But they got to be mistakes of aggression and mistakes of opportunity, not mistakes of not playing hard. You know, and I thought the second quarter it was a little bit of mistakes of aggression, but I thought we got outplayed in that corner, and we just can't get outplayed.
I thought Joe was kind of measured tonight. Didn't like, you know, he's got to be frustrated that the rebounding has not been good, the live ball turnovers were really not good, and that you've got Derek and Peyton kind of going through a shooting slump to start the year. As you mentioned, some positives there. Sam Hauser was excellent. You know, there's stuff they can build off of. It's just everyone's got to kind of get back to what makes them good, and they got to get back to winning the margins. One of the things I'll continue to say throughout the year, it's all about winning the margins when you've lost as much talent as they have. And right now, when you're giving up all these offensive rebounds, when you're losing the turnover battle, when you're losing the offensive rebounds, when you're losing the free throws, you're just putting yourself in a tough spot. And you're putting a ton of pressure on making shots. And while you could get away with that last year, might not be able to get away with it this year.
And Scal said it post-game, too, like, especially when it comes to the rebounding, control the controllables. If you want to, I love what Scal said in this point, saying, you know, if you're one of the newer guys, or if you're trying to earn, or not even, if you're some of the older folks and you're trying to earn minutes,
do what you do well.
Go rebound.
Yeah.
It's almost like teaching. I'm not trying to disrespect the Celtics and how they're playing. It's just heart, grit, effort. It's what you learn at a very young age. Like, go get the rebound. If they shoot the 3-ball, where is it going to go? It's going to go long if they miss, you know? So it's just the effort. And to see them get out-rebounded entirely, and then the offensive rebounds was a big differential. So if Joe is being frustrated, I would be frustrated with the things that they can control, and it's the effort, energy, and rebounding is something. Be in good position. Box out. Go get the ball. The shot falling or not falling between Peyton and Derek, I'm not too concerned about, as you attested to, because slumps happen early. Fine, whatever. Like, they'll find their flow. They're too good of players to get, you know, bothered or issued by this. But
they've been pros
they'll
for
be
so
fine.
long. Slumps happen. It just kind of sucks that it's right out the gates. You've got two guys who just,
especially when Derek
can't
just had 33 in the. I
Right.
mean, look, it's the preseason. Kayla, relax.
Even like he had 25 points the other night.
Yeah.
It's just the efficiency hasn't been to the level that you would think. And so those guys will figure it out. They just got to get everybody kind of on the same page.
He's got them ready for more. More selection, more savings, more ways to win.
During the Try for More savings event at Chrysler Jeep 24, shoot to save more, up to $1,500 more. Plus, during the Drive Into Fall event, lease a new Jeep Grand Cherokee for just $285 a month and get more for your trade with up to $2,400 over book value.
Family owned and operated. You'll save more at Chrysler Jeep 24.
New England gets more at Chrysler Jeep 24.
I can't believe it's taken me this long in the program to get to my headline, which is
I talk a lot, so that's why.
Hugo-mania is running wild. And so Scal got mad at me on the post-game show because I brought up Hugo in the A block, and playfully bad. And to continue the theme of not overreacting, Hugo Gonzalez looks like a potential all-star in the making with the way that he played and the energy that he brought out there. So, like, look, the Celtics, one of the things I've said about this season is not only do we hope that Water finds this level with its shooting, that the centers come along and shore up some of this rebounding, but you need to figure out what pieces are going to be key assets or key pieces of the future. And so I want to see them lean into some of these younger players, figure out what you've got.
You're already doing this? This is 2 games in.
But you can do both. Why did they get
It's
back
also the first 5 minutes of the.
Why did they not get back into? Why did they get back into this game?
Chris,
Ugo gave them the energy that they did not have in that second quarter.
It's a B block. This is a C block. In the A block, we talk about the game that just happened.
Would they have been in this if not for Ugo's energy?
No, I mean, he was awesome. I know, but that's like a B block. A block is like, right now we're 0-2. We're going into a tough back-to-back.
Ugo's an A block.
But you know what, Chris? We might hit Ugo in every block, for you tonight.
All right.
I mean, but
I'm staying for an H block. Ugo block.
Getting into that.
You want me to
break the game down?
The game?
A block.
The A block.
What?
Right.
No, what you have
the
to,
rebounding was not good.
No. Like what you have to look at is we're trying to be a good basketball team. We're not trying to not make the playoffs or tank or any of that stuff. Okay, I know you're not, but. What are we not seeing that we need to get to so we could be a good basketball team?
We're not seeing Peyton Pritchard and Derek White. I'm not sure they could have shot worse over the last 2 games. Like there was an instance where Derek just fired up an air ball where it was almost like he was exasperated with himself and with the looks that they're settling for. The rebounding has been atrocious. The energy has dipped in 2 different quarters and probably cost you 2 different wins. So, I'm not overreacting. I just think you're looking for guys that are going to give you energy. And right now, I think you need to lean into that while your starters and your key guys are figuring it out. Because right now, your key guys haven't been good enough. It's, because that is true. It's like, that's the segment we're supposed to be doing, sort of the 10,000-foot view, which we kind of just did too. But I think a lot of what will drag us through this season, if the Celtics do hit rough patches, is the sort of silver linings that are emerging, the younger players that are developing. Yep. I think, someone asked the other day and said, what's a successful season for the Celtics? And I said, well, of course, I think they're going to be better than a play-in team. I think there's a chance that we'll see what happens with Jason Tatum and how guys develop and whether there's a chance to actually be competitive in a playoff series. But it really the wins, losses, and how far they go isn't the big deal to me. We got to learn 5, 6 different topics. We need to know, can Joe coach up a team that isn't overflowing with talent? Can Jaylen Brown be a 1A and then, reassimilate once Jason's back? And then, but one of the biggest things to me is more so throughout this year is just how do you develop young players in a way that you haven't been able to in championship or bust seasons? So I want to see young guys play. They might be bad. So Jordan Walsh plays 1:46 tonight. Baylor Scheinman plays 3 minutes and 32 seconds. They were not helping in the second quarter. No. And Joe is just like, you know what? I'm not putting them back out there. But one player who did get some extended burn in the third quarter and into the fourth, Hugo Gonzalez makes his NBA debut. Yeah. Look, the line's not going to jump off the page. I'm not sure I'm ready to put him on an all rookie team just yet, but maybe a second team. But he goes, the totals were 6 points, 4 rebounds, +7, 2 steals, and a +7, which was a team best by a pretty good margin. Boucher was +5 too. Hugo brought it.
Yeah.
Does not look like a 19-year-old playing his first NBA game.
No, I love your headline, by the way. Love your headline. And I want to see more headlines revolving around Hugo because I think he attests to this all the time, saying I played against older guys, and he has. And even in your first game, you have the jitters. Maybe he won't admit it, but when Joe puts you out there, and you don't really know if you're going out there or not based off of Joe's rotation unless they had a conversation before.
Well, remember too, the other night, end of the third quarter, they send him out there.
Right.
He's getting ready to check in, and then it's 30 seconds left in the third quarter. They're like, come on back.
Yeah. And imagine the nerves there because you're like, oh, I'm about to go.
Yeah, right.
Debut, and then
can you imagine I'm at TD Garden. Here we go.
He probably went to the table and thought, am I getting pulled right now?
Yeah,
and then, no, this is real. I'm stepping onto the floor. So Hugo, great job getting on the floor. And great job doing what he did with his minutes. Yeah. You're right. The numbers didn't jump off the stat line, and I'm cool with that. I actually think he did better than what I expected him to do. You kind of expect him to be this defensive, gritty guy, almost like a Josh Minot in a different way. But then he contributes to the offensive side of the ball, almost in double figures.
Putbacks, all that stuff.
The layup, turning the corner, missed a couple of shots, and he still looked great out there. So I think, and especially in his debut, that is a silver lining because they need the supporting cast. Yes. Jaylen and Derek need the Hugo Gonzalez's of the world to support them because you don't have Jason Tatum out there. So you need everyone else to do their part. Baylor didn't. Jordan didn't. fine. Maybe they do on Sunday.
For sure. They'll get opportunities moving forward. They got a back-to-back coming up. All these guys are going to get their chance to show what they can do. What I love is that even after having this pretty hyped-up debut, Hugo in the post-game media wasn't buying into it.
Hugo, your first NBA game is Madison Square Gardens. How did it feel taking the floor tonight?
Felt good. Just stepping on the floor was good. But still, I'm not having a great memory of this day because we lost a game that we could have won. I think we're still working on the details. We got to be better there and not dropping ourselves in any time of the game.
Did you feel any nerves?
Well, luckily for me, I got experience in other arenas in Europe that are crazy, so that plays in my side. But yeah, of course, that's making my NBA debut. That's something that happens every day.
I love it. Like he's already holding himself to a high standard. He's already like, you know what? Jalen Brunson already got too many buckets. I'm mad about. He's got this little bit of swagger to him.
Right.
Right.
Like, good job pointing that out.
Not like
it's not arrogant.
This is no, and it could just be like a little cultural difference. But this is a kid. I don't even. And I feel wrong saying that. Like this is a man who has been playing professionally overseas for many years, who has had good coaching, has been played alongside NBA players, and is not your normal 19-year-old rookie coming out of 1 year of college, where like playing for some random D1 program. He is. He feels like he belongs, and he plays like he belongs, and I love the upside of what they've got here in Hugo. I will fully admit, we did all these mock drafts actually, I'll tell you this funny story. So we did a mock draft, and so first off, I'm like learning all these players, and that on its own is like some players from the tournament, but I'm not like one of these draft guys that knows all these players. So I'm tasked with putting together 1 through 30. So I'm doing it one night. I'm like kind of trying to identify team needs, which you never should draft for, but like best available player. Oh, let's throw this French guy going to somebody's team, and I submit it. And I vividly remember, a lot of the mock drafts had Hugo in that like 28 to 30 range. Mm-hmm. I think I had slotted it. Somehow I didn't get him, crammed him into round 1. And I was like, man, like everyone, there's a lot of hype about like what he could be. And one of our editors called and said, hey, you have the same guy at like 14 and 22. And I was like, oh, man. All right. So I said, well, there's this kid, Hugo, who I was trying to get on there. I'm like, you know what? Let's make this easy. Just put him at 14.
No way.
Yeah. So
really?
I think it was like ridiculously high in my first mock draft. And, but for whatever reason, then I was like fixated. Every time we did a draft, I was like, where did I put Hugo? Where did I put Hugo? And then I eventually brought him back down. Again, mock drafts, you're just throwing darts anyway. Yeah. It's like there's no anyone who says there's a science to it is just completely lying.
They're BSing.
But for whatever reason, it made me learn a little bit more about Hugo, and then you read it and you're like, wow. And the hard part for me was always kept saying like the Celtics don't really need, and he was always listed as a guard.
Yeah.
But he's more of like a wing, especially with the way he plays defense and the grittiness.
What are the odds?
I know, right? And so I never slotted him going to the Celtics, which is my only regret. I should have put him in there at some point because they obviously had the bunch of the slots there. Yeah. And but I'm glad now because like you can see the makings of a legitimate player. It was funny. We were talking in that A block. We said we're not going to overreact to anything, and I said, yep, we're not going to overreact. Hugo is definitely going to be an all-star. All defense, probably going to be on the all-rookie team. And all. And,
you know what? We may replay this tape. You never know.
Scal's looking at me like.
He's like, if you don't shut up, Chris, about the A block.
He better not be he's making a mockery of this A block. And so, no, but I do, so much of what we take from this season is going to come back to, can they develop young guys? Everybody's going to get their chance. But, man, Hugo looks like he belongs.
Completely agree. I actually like the overhype for Hugo because who's to say that he won't not only develop but actually be one of the top rookie. I say it with hesitancy.
This
I know
rookie class is loaded.
I
mean, we just saw VJ Edgecombe go for like.
But he's a sleeper. He's
that's the great
VJ
thing.
Edgecombe.
Right.
That man's on a different level right now, dropping
him
20
and Cooper
whatever.
Flag can go just have their own
30+ points.
All rookie
insane.
first team party.
But Hugo I think he actually is one of the more elite guys in his class because of not just his scoring ability. His scoring ability, I think, is going to even progress as the season goes along, as he gets more confidence. But any player, in my opinion, when you're really good defensively, that only propels you on the offensive side of the ball. And when your confidence stems from your defense, I feel like that's such a advantage that you have, and I think it's going to play towards his favor. Because it was really not his debut, but actually, yeah, it was his debut. I keep forgetting he didn't check into that game.
It looked like he was going in for a
debut,
second.
and he dropped
he did have preseason games too, and especially that first game against Memphis, it was like the hype trains were rolling. Then he kind of came back to earth a little bit. I do think we'll see this. Like, I'm not expecting him to have great nights every night, but do I want to see him take a few turns on Cade Cunningham on Sunday? Oh,
Heck yeah.
Before we look ahead to the Pistons game,
Right.
we're gonna go lightning round. I'm gonna throw some topics at you.
Hit me.
You can go quick.
Okay.
If you really want to ramble, there's no time limit here.
Okay.
So, but how do they fix the rebounding?
Position yourself. Position yourself. Go find a man. Fundamentals. Box out. Find the guy. If it's a long ball from a three, know what's going to go far and outwork. Plain and simple. You're under Joe Mazzulla.
It's been interesting to me that they haven't played more double big like with Boucher or Kayla, but like they just seem to want. They understand that their skill is single big, and but yeah, like there were some stretches there in that game where I was like, oh my god, no Josh Minot in this game.
Why? Why not Minot?
Why not Minot?
That's my initial reaction. Why?
My guess would be they're saving him for the back-to-back here, and I can absolutely see Joe going to him and going, hey, I know this is weird. You know, you didn't play a lot in opening night. We're not going to play you in New York. We're going to try some of the younger guys, depending on how the game goes. You know, you never want to say unequivocally no. But I wonder if they said, like, we knowing that we have 3 games in 4 nights, we need to kind of pace this thing. But odd that he was the guy. And
I don't know anything verbatim, but there had to have been a conversation with him knowing that he wasn't going to play.
I had Peyton and Derek on the list. We've checked that box. Jalen's birthday. Are we done with birthdays?
Yeah, we're done. Okay. We're done. We can do our PGL crew birthday, but when it comes to these players, like it's.
So Brad Stevens had a birthday on the opener, and the Celtics obviously fumbled away that game.
The crowd even sang to him.
And Jaylen Brown's birthday tonight in New York, and you know I'm thinking, man, like has to go have a big game. It's Jaylen Brown Day in Boston. They can go out and celebrate in New York, or I don't know how quickly.
Yeah, I guess they have a day
off before. They have a day off before they have to get to Detroit, so hopefully they're staying overnight and having some fun. You pointed out something I didn't notice. The last lightning round thing. Jason Tatum coaching up on the bench.
Yeah, did you see him get right up there?
So I didn't, and now I'm intrigued to go back and watch.
Oh, it was I'm forgetting what play it was, but the broadcast even called it out. They were like, "Oh, look at Jason getting right up." He was literally talking to the official right there with Joe, being like, hey, "It looked like." Head coach, assistant coach. And I think we're going to see a lot more of that. He was up because, you know, JT, he's normally like chill, we'll be on the bench, we'll stand up, but stay in his space. He was walking and talking to the official. So I think it's from what it seems like, and he's Jason Tatum, he's going to be one for the people, one for his players and his teammates. But even maybe to find a role right now to be like, okay, I can go into coaching mode. I can telling, what was it, Nene to tuck in his shirt?
Jersey. That was so
like
good.
He's trying to. I feel like he's trying to find his role for what it is right now, and can be an asset in terms of maybe, you know, assistant coach.
The Jersey thing was funny to me, and then I was like, I wonder if he's bringing like oranges and cookies to the the morning practice, like den mother, soccer mom, or whatever. You know,
we love the orange moms.
Yeah.
Not the orange moms, the oranges coming from the mothers and
Moms
the dads.
Bringing the oranges. We all
The
know what you
orange
meant.
moms.
It's a rite of passage for every child to get the post soccer match.
That's all you looked forward to at the half.
That's
everything.
That's the only reason I played sports
Same.
when I was a kid.
Soccer.
I was like, what treat do I get? I actually I am not a runner by far, but me and my wife did a 5K, which we
Good
took.
job.
We took the story gets better. We went the wrong way, and so we turned it into like a 7.5K.
Did you do it with people?
We did, and literally you go through this neighborhood. So there was a 5K course and a 10K course, and it was supposed to be like clearly marked, and we did not take the right thing. What was more frustrating was, one, we were doing it in South Carolina, so my mom was waiting for us at the finish line with our small children and was like, where the hell are they? And second off, the reward for running this race was Bojangles, my favorite fast food restaurant.
Bojangles is fire.
These iced biscuits.
Yeah.
At the finish line, and that's the only reason I ran.
Dude, they were out.
So they were out of one flavor. I think they still had like the bowberry or something like that, which was fine.
Bowberry?
But it wasn't the version.
When did you guys realize you got lost? We were like, oh.
No, we knew for like immediately. Like we looked around
That's
and we're
the
like,
worst.
wait, these runners are much too good, and I don't see anyone who we would previously been behind. Again,
so
like
you did a 7K.
one of only like 2 5Ks I have ever done, and then it also retired me because I am not a runner.
I'm gonna have to bring you and your wife, and you can bring it home, Bose. We're gonna have to order it. They don't have that around here.
So there's one, I believe.
Shut up.
There's one in New York now. There's
Really?
nothing closer. Before DC was the closest.
There's a Bojangles in New York?
Right over the border, I believe.
No way.
So 3-hour
All right.
drive-ish. If anyone
Listen,
wants to make a trek with me, I'm willing to talk Celtics the whole way. If that would be real quick. What's one thing you're looking for against Detroit on Sunday?
I am looking forward to Peyton Pritchard finding his groove. Ooh. I really am. Like I want it for him. I was not too. I don't know how I felt about him start. Look, I'm so for Peyton starting because he's deserving of it. I do love that he is the spark off the bench. I think I've always loved him in that role. Right. But if he's going to be the starter, I want him to have that spark. He told me, no matter if I'm coming off the bench or if I'm starting, I'm going to bring that spark. So I want to see Peyton get going. And so the Pistons got a huge win over the Rockets tonight down there. I almost feel better about that because if they had lost their first 2 games because they had a hard loss against, I think, Chicago on opening night, like they'd be really hungry going into this game. I'm not sure you take the foot off the gas too much. They'll be at home. Mm-hmm. There'll be some motivation. Celtics got to be ready. Cade is a beast. They've got a bunch of big guys that can cause trouble. So I'm looking forward to the Celtics cranking it up a level. And now all I want is Bojangles because I'm super hungry. So everybody go subscribe. Go check us out on the YouTube page. Bring in Bojangles.
We will be back with more fast food talk on Sunday.